You want to do the interview in a soup kitchen?
Just listen.
McCoy's, what's the password?
Wilson's a fraud.
Come on in.
Welcome back to Time Travel and Tom's podcast. We're here today in a speakeasy with Slippy Fitzgerald to talk about jazz. Say hi, Slippy.
Hey man, how are you?
So I wanted to get right into it, and can you smoke in here? You just put that out.
What are you talking about? You think I can't smoke in here? Hey Jim, he's saying I can't smoke in here. What's he talking about, Slippy? Of course you can smoke in here. See what I'm talking about, man? I can do whatever I want.
I didn't mean to offend you, Slippy. It's just we don't do things like that anymore.
It's okay. When in Rome. So, we're talking about jazz today?
We're talking about jazz today, and I guess we'll get right into it. I mean, could you just pull that the other direction?
Yeah, sure.
How did you get into jazz?
You see, actually, my parents took me to Mardi Gras down in New Orleans. That's actually like where the whole jazz thing started. And it was just, the second I heard it, it was crazy. It was like the energy.
A lot of passion.
Yeah, it was unlike anything I'd ever heard before. There was so much personality blown into every note. And it was, from that moment on, I knew that it was something I wanted to learn how to do. And, me learning how to do it actually helped me meet my wife, Cheryl. Ex-wife, Cheryl.
So to go a little deeper into that, how about you tell me what jazz means to you, personally?
To me, jazz is all about the feelings that you're trying to convey. It's this crazy new music form where it's not as structured as any of the other kinds. It's free form. You can do whatever you want with it. It can be anything that you want. It can be sad, it can be happy, it can make you want to dance, it can make you want to cry. And that's really what I think is unique about it, is it's not held to the same standards as other music.
I respect that. I do like your connection to that. And on a broader scale, do you think the public criticizes this kind of music?
Yeah, there's a lot of more traditional people out there that aren't a huge fan of the thing that we're trying to push. We're really huge fans of, us jazz players, we're huge fans of being open and free-form with everything that we do. There's a lot of older, more traditional people out there that consider what we do kind of sacrilegious, and they consider it kind of sinful. I personally don't see it that way, but that's how some of the older generations are seeing it.
So it sounds like your style of music receives a bit of criticism today, but you say you went to Mardi Gras, and that was sort of your inspiration to get into this. Do you know any more about the history prior to that?
Yeah, jazz originally came from African American communities. It has roots in blues and ragtime. Ragtime being a really popular old style of African American music. It was really like the first kind of music that they really made their own. And jazz kind of evolved from that, because ragtime was also a more free form and unique form of music.
So you'd say jazz was born in America then?
Yes, jazz is definitely full-blooded American. You won't find any Yanks across the sea trying to push what we have here. Full-blooded Americans only.
I think that's something we can all get behind, Slippy. Gee, Slippy, I sure am hungry.
You are?
Of course.
Well, why don't you try the cheeseburger?
The cheeseburger, you say?
The cheeseburger, I say. The cheeseburger is a revolutionary new food mechanism that includes all 5 of the food groups. You have grains, fats, meats, vegetables, onion.
Is onion a food group?
I don't know. The food groups haven't been invented yet. It's 1920.
Well, gee, it sure sounds nutritious. I bet Michelle Obama would love this.
Who's Michelle Obama?
The first black first lady.
What?
So to tie back into the present, how would you say that Prohibition affected your career in music?
I'd say it's definitely helped my career a lot. before Prohibition started, I actually found it pretty difficult to find work. I mean, I had a drinking problem, that didn't help. But once Prohibition started, first of all, it got me off the alcohol, that's a good thing. Second of all, a lot of the people that own the speakeasies really liked the idea of this new rebellious music form, because like I said, a lot of people felt like jazz was sort of like evil. And these people that were holding these secret bars that were against the law really liked that sort of connection, putting the evil music with the evil people drinking alcohol. Obviously, everyone's just trying to have a good time, and that's what jazz is all about.
So it's safe to say that Prohibition helped your career, but what effect do you think this had on jazz music as a whole? How did the public take its presence in speakeasies?
I mean, there were a lot of people that went to speakeasies to have a good time, but overall it didn't really help the image of jazz being kind of like the evil music, because putting this new music that people already doubted into an illegal place, it didn't really do it any justice.
I understand that. So it's probably fair to say you've been in your fair share of speakeasies. What are the most common members of the audience you see around there?
There was a surprising amount of variety there. You had, like, businessmen, suit and tie kind of people, young kids, boys with these girls that had stupid haircuts, like, all short and something. I don't know. It looked really stupid to me. I think they call them a bob or something, and, one time I saw Cheryl there. Yeah, she
You said businessmen
yeah, she was with another man. I guess she moved on already? I mean, I don't know. I figured maybe she'd wait for me or something. I mean, I just quit drinking. I thought maybe she'd take me back. But no, that night I went home and
Slippy.
I downed a whole bottle of booze. Cheryl!
It's okay.
I still love you!
It's okay.
Cheryl! Oh my god!
So you were talking about businessmen before in that last question we were discussing. By that, of course, you meant a bit of a mafia presence.
What are you, some sort of nitwit or something? Well, listen, while yes, the men running these establishments might not make the money through traditional means, they put me into work, and they give a lot of people a chance to unwind and relax. So we don't like to throw around the M word around here, unless someone calls the coppers and they start squirting metal.
Gee, I'm sorry, Slippy. Let's look into the future. Where do you think jazz is going from here?
I really think this is only the beginning. I think that with what we have and the passion of everybody that's behind it, I really think it's gonna blow up. I think you're gonna be hearing jazz everywhere in America. I think people are gonna be listening to it in their cars, people are gonna be listening to it at home, but not just the kids. The parents and the grandparents, they're all gonna realize the importance of what we have here, and I really hope that I live to see that day.
Oh, that's very insightful there.
What's so funny? Okay, boys, you're busted. This is the police. Just come over silently and easily. We'll put you in bracelets and you're heading down to the station. Oh no, I gotta get out of here. I can't get pinched. Slippy, wait. Hey, you gotta get down. Slippy, no. Oh, Slippy. Oh my god. Don't, Cheryl, I'm down. Hey, you're under arrest.
Hey, no, I'm not from here. I just have to get back to the future.
We got a loon.
Hey guys, if you like this podcast, you can support me on Patreon. Every cup of coffee helps. Very interesting one today. I just want to thank you for supporting us, this podcast, and allowing me to meet people like Slippy. So, yeah, drop a like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you all.